Okay, so you asked for it, so let's get into it. I recently saw the movie Sinners, and I'm going to tell you my honest opinion about the movie. That way you could see it if you want to, or if you choose not to see it, you don't have to see it. So we're going to get into it in a few. First of all, I'm going to be honest and say that I necessarily didn't want to see the movie. It's like I had to see the movie because it was starring some of the biggest actors. Well, Michael B. Jordan. People were talking about it nonstop. The title was controversial, like Sinners. And so I decided to watch it. Okay. And I'm going to be honest and say that it really wasn't my initial type of movie to watch because it would seem like it was in the past. And if you don't know about the past, it can be very racist. Even though there were some racist tones in the movie, it wasn't your typical racist that I was used to and what steered me away from movies like that. It actually wasn't that bad. And I kind of enjoyed my experience of watching the movie more than I thought I would. So, it does have some gruesomeness in it, where you see bloodshed. It does have music in it. I wouldn't say that it was a full musical because there's definitely talking and stuff going on, but it is people performing. There are people of different ethnicities in the movie, but it's centered around black people. So I definitely want to support my culture. It was given like a gangster vibe a little bit, and that's really not my forte. But I will say the way that this movie was put together, it kind of worked, and it did it. And just to save you some time, um, I'm going to go ahead and get my rating in a few minutes. But I would say this, like I try hard not to. Okay, so my rating of the movie was a 10. And I try hard not to give it a 10, but the overall impact that it had over me, my mind, my thought pattern, I was like, oh, that was a 10 because I hadn't seen a movie to do that in a long time. It it answered some burning questions. It gave me something to watch, to look at. It made me want to gauge more. So it was thought provoking. It was definitely what I wasn't expecting. So not many movies can make you do that. I had recently complained about not having good movies around, movies that really excite me, make me want to do more. And from this movie to make me not want to go see it, not want to rate it a 10, not want to give it its validation, not want to give Michael Jordan the hype that he always gets, even though shout out to Michael Jordan. He's doing his Michael B he's doing his thing and people are really working with him. He's really being put in the forefront of a lot of major roles. And I'm surprised that he was put in this one. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But the reason that I'm surprised is because this movie to me is not like any other movie out there right now because it goes into what is it, the forbidden taboo, like it has vampires in it. But the way that it's speaking about it, it's like putting different things and perspectives in forefront that you normally probably thought about, but you didn't really hear people talk about, or you didn't really think about it in that way. So it's just like they're not hiding that anymore because you hear talks about vampires and what types of vampires and stuff that there are in the world, possibly. But the fact of putting in the forefront of a group of people actually encountering them allegedly and possibly having some truth behind it, it was just like, what? Are they real or are they not? And if they are real, you know, kind of like that. I will say the movie kind of like takes you down a little transition before it gets into the uproar of The vampirism and stuff like that, a lot of it is just you just walking through the setup of what's about to happen and stuff like that. But like I said, this movie to me earned a 10 just because it is a movie that I haven't seen in a long time deal with. And it made me want to be like, I think everybody should go see this movie. I can't say that about a lot of movies that I've seen recently, but this movie took me to a place that I wasn't expecting to go. I experienced things in this movie that I wasn't like really expecting to experience. It was really mind blowing to say the least. Like, but I'm not gonna say everybody's gonna get the same thing out of watching Sinners that I got out of the movie. I just would say I feel like things I would have like missed out if I hadn't gone seen the movie. And it really put some puzzle pieces together of some things that I have been thinking about, things I have been wondering about or wanting to see take place. And that's one thing I enjoyed about the movie. And I just hope that people will get the same thing out of the movie that I got from it. But everybody's on their own journey, on their own um understanding. So it's like you either gonna get it or you not. And as far as the title goes, Sinners, I guess you can see that like it has to have some spiritual element in it. To me, I do feel like the movie is kind of very spiritual. Um and of course there's people talking about the right thing to do in their God and so forth like that. So yeah, I can see sinners, but also it talks about how to me it's sinners on a deeper level than it's been talked about before. And so I guess the name is suffice. I would say that it probably wouldn't have been the best name that I would have chose for it, but I would say maybe it is because it is kind of fitting to an extent. And when you go back and think about what it means to be called a sinner, I guess it does align with that things. So if you didn't hear me before, I'm saying it again. My interpretation of the movie and my rating is a 10. If you don't know, I'm a very much of a critic. Like I'm not going to well, sometimes, but I'm not going to give you a rating if I don't think that you earned it. And I feel like this movie earned it because like I said, I tried everything not to give this movie a 10. Even the little nuances that I was like, "Oh, I really didn't care for that." The fact of the overall impact and the justification that happened in the movie, it took me over the top to be like, well, it was so masterfully done and displayed in a way that I wasn't expecting the movie to be portrayed, but to have such a huge message behind it. I was just like, I couldn't have done it the way that this person did it. And also in such a short period of time, because you would think like a movie that was so thought provoking would take 2 hours, 3 hours. It may have been a 2 hour movie, but I think it was like an hour and a half. But it didn't feel like it was that long. It just felt like it was a ride that you were on, and then you was like, "Oh, this is making sense." Like, "Oh," and you're uncovering things. And despite the fact that it was some gore in the movie, I wasn't really like, "Ooh, that's disgusting." I'm a lady. I don't need to watch that. Like, it wasn't like bad. It was like doable. And it was a parts and I was even laughing. So obviously, the creator had a sense of humor, even though everybody probably wouldn't got it because everybody's humor is different. I definitely got it, and I was really laughing um throughout the movie. Sometimes even during the gruesome scenes, I was thinking stuff was funny because I'm like, why did he think of that? And like, I would have like never thought to do that, or that's funny. And so, at some points in the movie, it got embarrassing because even in like some of the previews and stuff that happened before the movie, I'm the only one in the theater laughing. And keep in mind, it was only like maybe 20 people in the theater because it was like, people don't really go to movies like that no more. They'll watch it from home or whatever. And so I'm up here every blue moon. Ha 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 ha. I bet the people was like, I wish she shut her mouth. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't gonna happen. And I'm just like, I don't like people being loud in a movie, but my laugh was definitely like loud, and I didn't care. And because I thought it was some funny humor, because it's like, what just happened? Did that just happen? Yeah, that just happened. And so I'm up here laughing about it, and I'm not caring what nobody thinks. And then at the end of the movie, I was just taking in everything that I watched, and then I started feeling like I was uncomfortable throughout the movie, but like after the movie, I was like side eyeing people, and like, and I was like, "Are you like?" I was thinking like, "Dang, is you a vampire or whatever?" Even though like I don't know, but it's just like I was ready to go. But the whole movie, I was up here cracking at this, that. Then after the movie, I was like, you know what? Let me just get out of here. You can't really trust people. Let me just get out here because you know sometimes you don't know who people are, their intentions and stuff like that, and especially if people go out and see this kind of movie, you just don't know what time they on for real. And so I was just like, let me just go. But I enjoyed it. And even after the movie, there was some of the more prolific things that happened after the movie where I just was rethinking everything and going over it before I was like, I gotta do a review over the movie. And I was like, wow. And it just got deeper and deeper, and I was like, what? This was really is what I just witnessed. This is really the message that really was going on in the movie. And I was like, that's crazy. Even though I don't feel comfortable speaking on the message that I received and got from the movie, but it definitely was a 10 out of 10. I have seen different people talking about their interpretation of the underlying messages of the movie, and I haven't watched them, and I don't even care to watch them because, like, the message that was given to me, I was like dumbfounded to like, really? They're speaking about this. They're being candid about this because for me, I love truth. I love like the no bull method. Just get to the point and don't hide behind the fluff topics. And to me, this was like we're in your face with it. We're gonna talk about it, and I love that. I respect that, and so that's what earned my respect in this movie. That's what earned my validation in this movie, and my laughter in this movie because it was just really a good nuance of how it was put together. And I feel like the director, the producer, the actors did an amazing job, and I'm curious to see what else they put out because I was just that pleased with what I saw and the whole experience all together. So you go check it out, and hopefully you can get some of what I got from it, and let me know what you think down below.